Are you thinking of whether you should get Anubias or Java Fern? Well, you've come to the right place, because in this video I'm going to give you the pros and cons of both plants. First, let's take a look at Anubias. Anubias is a very common aquarium plant, and a lot of people keep it in their tanks. It is a very hardy plant and oftentimes kept with goldfish. It has a rhizome, which means you can't bury the plant in the substrate. If you bury the rhizome, it will melt and die. They do prefer low light because they are very prone to getting algae on their leaves, and when there's too much algae, their growth could be stopped and they could very well die. This is probably the only issue with keeping this plant, as most of the times Anubias is pretty hardy. Their leaves are very tough, so you don't need to worry about other fish eating it. Now let's take a look at Java Fern. Java Fern is also a rhizome plant and very beginner friendly. But unlike Anubias, Java Fern is very algae resilient, and I've never seen algae grow on the leaves of this plant. You can either tie the plant to driftwood, or you could let it sit and let the plant anchor itself. Another thing I like about Java Fern is that it grows a lot faster than Anubias, which grows super slow. The bad thing about Java Fern is that its leaves melt really easy if you move it around too often. I've noticed that Java Fern is a lot more fragile and sensitive than Anubias. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the two plants. Even though there are some differences, overall these two plants are very alike. They're both rhizome plants, both have tough fibrous leaves, and both could be kept with goldfish. They're also recommended for beginners and don't need a substrate of any type. If you ask me which one is better, it's kind of hard to choose. Anubias is very hardy but is very sensitive to algae, whereas Java Fern isn't sensitive to algae but is very sensitive when you move them around or to new water parameters. But I would say for me, Anubias is the better option. In my opinion, Java Fern is a bit too sensitive. As for Anubias, as long as you buy bigger ones, they're a lot more resilient to algae. To sum it up, both are very good plants and both are recommended for beginners. Both have their cons and both will be liked by different people. Now I have a question for you. Which of these plants do you prefer? Leave it down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.